The well-known Christmas carol, Adeste Fideles, or O Come All Ye Faithful, is the subject of much scholarly debate. In this video, I explore its origins and meaning, including one suggestion that it was not written to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, as one might expect, but of Bonnie Prince Charlie, the Jacobite claimant to the thrones of England, Scotland and Ireland. It is important to consider the words and tune of Adeste Fideles separately in regards to their origins. It's unlikely that they were both written by the same person. So let's start with the words. You can see the first 3 verses on screen. Originally, there were 4 verses written in Latin. They have been attributed to various people, including Saint Bonaventure in the 13th century, King John IV of Portugal, and anonymous Cistercian monks in the 17th century. In most modern hymn books, however, it is attributed to a man called John Francis Wade, who, as far as we know, first wrote the tune and words down and first published the carol in 1751. We'll hear more about him later. In the 18th century, the first 4 verses were complemented by 4 others, which remain much less common to this day. The Latin verses were translated to the common English O Come All Ye Faithful by Frederick Oakley in 1841. The tune has similarly been attributed to a large number of people: John Reading, the organist at Winchester College, or his son, Handel, Gluck, Marcos Portugal, or again John IV of Portugal or John Francis Wade. It may have been someone known to Wade personally, like Thomas Arne, the composer of Rule Britannia. So, what about the suggestion that this is a Jacobite anthem? Professor Bennett Zahn interpreted it as such in 1996. The faithful are the Jacobites. Joyful and triumphant is a call to arms, so are the many orders to come. Crucially, the line, born the King of Angels, which in Latin is Natum Regum Angelorum, is very similar to born the King of Angles, or rather the English, which in Latin is Natum Regum Anglorum. This pun argues that Bonnie Prince Charlie was born the legitimate king of the English. Bethlehem was supposedly a common Jacobite cipher for England. We know that John Francis Wade fled to France after the Jacobite uprising of 1745 was crushed, and many of his publications had Jacobite imagery. So his association with this carol makes the idea that it was a Jacobite anthem even more plausible. There are fundamentally 2 possibilities about the meaning and origin of the carol: that it was written as a Jacobite anthem, or that it was a pre-existing song interpreted as such. Personally, I think the latter explanation is more convincing, but it is difficult to be certain. Arguably, what matters more is how we interpret it in the modern day. Thank you for watching this festive video on the origins and meaning of Adeste Fideles. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if so, please do have a look at my website, godtress.wixsite.com/cornucopia.